Hello everyone. In this video I am going to explain you about grid layout. I have already explained you what is layout, what is the purpose of layout, what is the advantage of layout, why we are using the layout. So haven't watched my the previous video, that is for vertical box layout and horizontal layout, so just watch that video so we'll understand what is layout. In this video I am going to explain you the another layout, that is the grid layout. What is grid layout? So before jumping to the grid layout, just first create the project. This is going to be the widgets application and give the name grid layout. Next, 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 add the compiler, click on none, finish. So my project is now created. So what is grid layout? Grid layout is basically you can adjust the you can adjust the button in rows and column form. What does that mean? It means that which button, like suppose if there are so many widgets or so many buttons in your UI page, so you can adjust the particular button, individual button, to the particular row. See, if I will show you here, like let's take some button 1, button 2. So suppose this is my button 1 is in my row 1, column 1, and this is my button 2 which is on row 1, column 2, and this is my button 3, right? And button 3 is on column 3, row 1, and this is my another button 4, and suppose and this is my button 4, so button 5, sorry. So you can decide the button 5 will going to occupy the column of 3 also. And if I give another example, suppose this is my button number 6 which is on row 3, column 1. So you can decide the button 7 will occupy the column 2, will occupy the column 2 also, and this is my button 8. So we can decide how, where the button will occupy, understand? So if before going to the coding part, let's first learn what is grid layout. If I type here grid layout, QGridLayout, QGridLayout class. So basically the grid layout class has out widgets in the grid form. Grid form means you can define, you can you can decide, you can go over way, like the divide up into the, see, that is what I am explaining, that is the rows and column. It put each widget manage into the correct cell. What is mean by cell? Cell is like the individual cell, because when you create a table and divide into the column and row form, that one if you want to access the individual index, so that is the cell. So you can decide the individual cell of the button also. There are so many column, like the set column stress, set the column, you can also set the column minimum width also, add widget. Then we are going to use the add widget, we are also going to add item, remove widgets also you can. There are so many functions. So you before going to things, any before going to learn anything, just read this document, because when you read this document you will get many things, like how to create the column, how to create the widget. So here there are so many things is there, like how to create the column and how to rows, column, and you can also span the row and column the row. So this is how you are going to learn. So we need to add the QGridLayout header file, and this is some different QBuild project, understand? So let's So see here, either you can use the grid layout also to apply in this also, but I'm going to use in code. So directly jump into the main window.cpp, and here you can write your code for creating the dynamically. So let's create one QGrid, but before writing the code I have to add QGrid layout, right? QGrid layout, QGrid layout, and let's pointer equal to new QGrid layout. So I have created the grid layout, but I have to also I have to create uh, like central widgets also, because where we are applying this layout, we are applying this layout in our central widget, right? This is our central widget, so I have to also create dynamically my central widgets also. So let's create few widgets, give widget and give the name central widget, give the name central. This is my pointer object, and this is my widget class. Same here, this is my class and this is my pointer. Why it is I have written, okay, now it is correct. And we are creating it dynamically, so we need to add new q widget, and we have to pass our current object, that is this. And in this layout I have to pass this my central widget object, because this layout will apply in central widget. And then, and now, so before adding the button, so let's first give the name. First change this name. This is my button 1, this is button 2, button 3, 4, 5, and this is 6, this is 7. So I'm going to use all this, so just change the name also. So this is my button 1, so let's change the object name also. Give the name button underscore 1. Here button underscore 2, button underscore 3, this is 4, button underscore 4. So this is, so I'm just reducing this size because I have to apply the grid layout. So this is my button 5, this is button 6, and this is the last one. This is going to be button number 7. And now let's apply in our code. So we are going to use this object and layout, and we are calling one function, that is add widget, not add item, because we are adding the widget that is present in our UI page. So my first button. So now I'm going to copy for all this. So this is my button, this is my button 1, but for that button I have to decide also. See, when I click here, when I put the comma, so it is asking for the rows and column, and into you can also span the row and column, but I'm just going to decide my where is my button. So my button is in the row 0 comma 0, okay, column 0. So first 0 is my row 0 and this is column number 0, okay. So this is for my button 1, and the same for, let's decide add widget UI my button 2. Where exactly button 2? Button 2 is going to be the row 0 column 1, okay. So this is row 0 and column 1. So you can just imagine where exactly we are placing our button. Add widget UI and button 3, button 3 row 0 column 2, row 0 column 2, and we can also we can also decide the row span and column span. So we are going to decide that it will span to the row 2 also. So the button and row 2 and comma 1, column 1 span, okay. So it will take the row 2 and column 1 span. So similarly we can also decide for second row. So what is my second row? Same layout, add widget UI button number 4. Button number 4 is going to be my row 1 column 0, and layout, add widget UI button number 5. Button number 5 row 1 comma column is also 1, and let's for third row we have one button layout, add widget UI button number, we have 6 button 6 is going to be the row 2 comma 0 column, and it will expand to my first row and second column, it will expand. And my last button, add widget UI button number 7. Button number 7, it will be in the row 2 comma column is also now going to be the 2. So this is how you can place your widgets, and let's call our set central widget. In this we can pass our object central widget, and now let's run this. First let's build. So the build is now successful. see my button is now, but it is see the 1 2 3 3, but I have what I have for button 3, what I have written button 3, it is going to be the row 0, column number 2, row number 0, column, see this is just column 0, column 1, column 2, but it is there column in, it is in column 2, it is there row 0 column 2, but and we are spanning to uh, row, we are spanning to the row 2, but it is not spanning to here. For that we have to change our policy. What policy? We have to change our button 3, we have to change our this policy. So we have to change vertical policy, expanding, right, and this is okay. So let's run again, because I have to expand this button vertically. So this is, so my third button expand vertically to the row number 1, and this 7 button will occupy the column 1 also and column 2 also, that we have written for button 7. What is the what we have written? Button 7, button 7 we have I think not button 7, button 6, sorry, button 6. Okay, this is button 6. So where is my button 6? Button 6 is there. Button 6 is going to be the row 2, column number 0, but it will occupy the first row also, first row and second column. So that is there. See, this is my first row and 2 column that will occupy. I hope you understand this, how the grid layout will work. So this is how you can reduce this size also. This is your grid layout. So in that grid layout you can decide individual button place by deciding which rows and column will occupy by giving this number. So the 0 is the row and 0 is column. So 0 row column 1, 0 and column 2, and this is my row span and this is my column span. So just practice this, you will understand better. I hope you understand this. This is very extending, I hope, but it is very helpful for you. If you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section. I will explain you in the next video. Thank you so much.